So again, we were talking about things that, were going on in the week, right? And did you see what happened this week in the government with the
Oh
top
my
the
God. You're
top
talking about the
intelligence officers using the
Signal
Signal
app?
app?
Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
not
that's
insane?
crazy.
What it made me realize is, so you had this happen, okay? You had Hillary Clinton with her 30,000 emails on a private
Private
server,
server, yeah, yeah.
right? You have hyenas, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. I don't know if you know who they are, but they love to yell at the president. They like to yell at Biden when he was in the middle of the State of the Union address. So no
Yeah.
respect for the office of the president, right? Then you got this other guy this year. I forget his name. Greene, I think. He's a Democrat when Trump's trying to speak. He looks like Gimli from Lord of the Rings. You got to see this guy. All right. You got to see him. All right. And he's up there again, disrespecting the office of the president, right? They're all clowns.
Yeah.
All of them. And we all get so worked up, right?
But left, right, all the political stuff, they're just ridiculous human beings. Like, we
All
all
of
put our
them.
pants on one leg at a time, but after they put their pants on, they're fucking wackatoos.
They are. They're
I mean,
wackos.
even though you're at such a high level and you have to be safe and secure, you still have to FaceTime with your grandkids. You still have to, you're still going to get a DM from a high school friend on
Absolutely.
Facebook. Like, whatever their version of that social interaction looks like, they're human. They're all still going to have that.
Mhm.
But, like, you have to separate business, especially when your line of work is like the government and the world, and
all this stuff is they already have all this advanced technology in place, right? So things don't get intercepted. But no, let's use, I know it's an encrypted app, but it's still a public app.
They added a fucking journalist to it. So, like, even if they were using the secret, internal government version of Signal or Telegram or whatever the fuck they use, if you invite an outsider in, you invite, it's like, don't ever let anybody outside the family know what you're thinking. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you if you invite these guys, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you bring in an insider, like, if you pull up that curtain and let somebody run under, like, what the fuck, dude? It's crazy to me.
Nobody's sitting here going, you know what? At the end of the day,
they're all
friggin' idiots, and they don't care about us, and you kind of got to be for yourself, right? And I think if we all got to that area, people would just calm down. And I'm talking about myself included.
Like, imagine putting all of your energy and belief into one of these idiots who invited a fucking journalist to the Signal app. Now what do you do?
And
right? Like, your whole life, you were led to believe this guy, or you felt like this guy was putting you on the right path. And now, like, a mistake for them is different than a mistake for us. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a barber. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to grow back, dog. Like, you got a journalist into the fucking Signal app. Like, it's
not even the journalist aspect of it, Mass. Like, this could have been intercepted by the people they were attacking. You're giving times and the weapons that are being used.
Who runs the Signal app? It ain't encrypted for them. You know what I mean? It ain't encrypted for the cats that made the app.
This freaked me out in a way that, like we say, all they do is lie. That's all they do, right? They're not there for us. You just said people make mistakes, right? Look, the mission went off without a hitch. Everything was fine. Just come out and say, hey, you know what? We screwed up. Made a mistake.
Fucked up. Yeah, like that. I would respect that more than I had the private server because of this and that. And like,
same thing with Clinton. It's how many years now? It's 2016. I'm still like, you know what? When is she just going to be like, hey, you know what, guys? I screwed up. Blah blah blah. But none of them can ever do that on any side, right? They can't.
There's no accountability.
There's no accountability at all, right? Like, you had 30,000 emails on a private server. You have been in politics your entire life. You know that's not supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, just be like, all right, you know what? I screwed up. And we would actually probably not have all these problems, because I really think that's what gets people so riled up. Right? You're like, oh, they're lying. And people on the right are saying the left's lying. And look, they are. They're all lying to us.
Yeah.
And that's what it just keeps us fighting, which is frankly what I think they want.
I wonder if anybody has admitted to a mistake in recent political history. People in positions of power, no matter what it is, doctor, the fucking Pope, people in positions of power who make mistakes should own up to it, and it is a bigger deal when you make a mistake in a government position versus like a barber or, a mechanic or something like that. It just is. You're not getting paid mechanic money. You're not making mechanic mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple. But I will say, to be fair, what was the thing that just happened a couple months ago there was a security app that had its claws in hundreds of systems and companies worldwide. Some guy, just a regular employee, updated the system and it crashed millions of Windows computers around the globe. And they were dark for like a day and a half. And they all had to be, most of the servers had to be fixed manually. They owned up to it immediately. They probably lost a shit ton of business. I'm sure the guy got fired, but they confessed, they apologized, and a mistake of that magnitude went away. We learned from it. I'm sure it's never going to happen again for that company or probably any others. The big takeaway was like, how could one company make a mistake and affect such a large part of the population? But they admitted it and they stopped getting their balls broke. It all kind of faded away because they owned up to it.
I just want to hear the truth from everybody.
Honestly, that's what we've been saying.
You know, and I'm not even talking about on the campaign trail, right? Like, I understand, like, when you're campaigning, that's the name of the game in politics, right? The name of it is to try to defeat your opponent. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, but in the process, you're selling a lie that you have to carry out for the next 4 years and jerk everybody else off in the process.
Yeah, but I think that's even difficult to, you know, worry about, so to speak, because that's been the name of that's been the name of the game since, you know, Moses had short pants. You know what I mean? For Sopranos reasons.
Since he put a dent in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the theme here is honesty and owning up to your mistakes. Be a man, be a woman, and just say, I fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.